because the second you stop talking and stay away, something in their head breaks, not in an emotional way, but in a mental way. You have taken away their mirror. And narcissists cannot work without a reflection. They do not move forward the way healthy people do. They just react. They fall apart. They plan. And what happens after that follows a very clear and expected path. If this makes sense to you, wait for a moment, subscribe, because learning this way of thinking is how you stay independent, not reactive. When a long time with no contact starts, the narcissist does not feel it as a loss in the sad way most people think. There is no normal sadness, no real broken heart, no thinking about what went wrong. What gets started instead is something much more upsetting. A loss of power. Power is the main goal of a narcissist's mind. Getting attention, seeing reactions, having emotional access, even fighting are all ways to get supply that proves they are important and in charge. When you take yourself away totally and stay quiet, you don't just leave the bond, you break the system that kept them steady. Your absence makes a sudden hole in their power. They cannot understand you, upset you, change the story, or get comfort from your reactions. That quietness becomes a problem they cannot solve. In the first part, their mind looks for the usual ways to pull you back. They think about old times, not to feel things, but to find ways to have influence. This is why no contact feels so weird to them. They are used to pushing a button and getting an answer. Silence gives them no information. The brain of a narcissist is built around what others think. So when that loop stops, their worry goes up. That worry quickly turns into annoyance and then into fury, because fury feels more strong than feeling helpless. What looks like missing you from the outside is actually being mad about losing a way in. They do not miss your soul. They miss your availability. They miss knowing they can still change your mood. This is why they might check your limits with sneaky actions like watching you, asking friends about you, or making small moves meant to make you curious or feel bad. Every try is a test, a way to see if power can be grabbed again. The longer no contact goes on, the clearer the point becomes. They no longer have power over your feelings. That fact is very scary to a narcissist's sense of self. Without power, their self-view falls apart because they define who they are by how they affect others. Your quietness does not show anger or hate. It shows freedom. And freedom is the one thing a narcissist cannot stand because it proves they are no longer in the middle, no longer needed, and no longer the boss. Quietness feels like being pushed away to a narcissist because their sense of who they are is built almost totally on what others say. They do not have a steady inner self the way healthy people do. Instead, they fix their self-worth through focus, reactions, praise, and emotional links from others. When you go no contact and stay quiet, that flow suddenly stops. To a narcissist, silence is not neutral. It is not calm. It is seen as being ignored, left behind, and shamed all at once. In their head, being ignored is the same as being worthless. Even bad focus feels better to them than none, because being mad, fighting, and drama still prove they matter. Silence, however, gives no proof that they are important. There is no emotional sound to help them know where they are. This makes a sharp inner pain because they are forced to look at something they run from at all costs, the chance that they are no longer big in your life. What makes this even worse is that narcissists are very focused on who is on top. They always look for signs of who is winning and who is losing. When you stop answering, explaining, fighting, or reacting, the power shift flips. They are no longer picking the distance. Distance is being forced on them. That loss of being important is felt as a rejection, even if you never said a word. This is why quietness often causes bigger reactions than a fight. Fighting still lets them feel involved, better, or powerful. Silence takes away the ground to fight on. There is nothing to win, no part to play, no group to act for. Inside, this starts shame. But shame is something a narcissist cannot take. So instead of dealing with it, they change it into anger, hate, or ideas of getting back at you. They might tell themselves, "You are childish, mean, or weak for leaving." But that story only exists to save their pride. Under it is a deeper fact they cannot own. Your silence proves they no longer own the path to you. And for a narcissist, rejection is not about losing love, it is about losing being relevant. Your lack of an answer becomes clear proof that they are no longer needed. And that fact hurts more than any mean word ever could. After a long time of no contact, narcissists often go through a predictable inner cycle: being confused, being mad, and planning. It does not always happen in a perfect order, and it does not always show on the outside, but the mental pattern is always the same. At first, confusion starts because quietness ruins what they expected. They are used to reactions they can predict, even if those reactions are loud, defensive, or mean. When none come, their mind has a hard time dealing with the lack of feedback. They keep waiting for the time you break, talk, or answer. When that time does not come, not knowing takes over. That confusion quickly turns into rage. Rage is not always loud or easy to see. It is quiet, cold, and stays inside. What makes it grow is the fact that they no longer own the story or your mood. They may feel insulted, ignored, or dared, even though no direct dare happened. The rage is there because silence makes them face being helpless. And being helpless is something their pride cannot take. Anger feels more strong than being open, so their mind picks it without thinking. Once the rage settles, the planning begins. This is where the narcissist moves from a feeling reaction to a smart way of thinking. They start asking themselves how to get power back, not how to fix the bond. They think about different tricks based on what worked in the past. Being nice, making you feel bad, bullying, using others, or acting like a victim all become tools to use. Every move is judged by one question: will this get a reaction? During this time, they may look calm or even like they don't care on the outside, but inside they are thinking of ways to win. Should they talk to you directly or wait? Should they act like they have moved on to make you jealous? Should they lie about you to save their own name? Each choice is checked for its power to bring back control, or at least keep their sense of being better. If none of these plans work, the frustration gets worse. They may pull away for a bit, telling themselves they are finished. But this leaving is rarely about being done. It is about resting. The cycle can start again if they feel even a tiny crack. Long no contact stops this cycle not by beating them, but by taking away its food. Without an answer, confusion has nowhere to go. Rage has no target, and planning becomes a waste of time. A hurt pride is the real cut that is shown after long no contact, and it goes much deeper than most people see. A narcissist's pride is not about being sure, strong, or believing in themselves. It is a weak mental wall built to keep them safe from shame. Everything they do, the fake kindness, the power, the tricks, the way they look, exists to stop one bad feeling from coming up: the feeling of not being important. When you go quiet and stay away, that wall breaks. No contact sends a point without words. It says, "You no longer run my feelings." To a narcissist, this feels like an attack on who they are. Their view of themselves depends on being the main point, having influence, and being unable to be forgotten. When you take yourself away, they feel it as a loss of rank. They are no longer the boss, no longer the one who says when things start or stop. That loss of being in charge makes a pride injury. A pride injury is not being sad, it is feeling shamed mixed with feeling helpless. The narcissist feels seen, smaller, and replaced. Even if no one else is there, they start to worry about how they look to others. Are you doing better? Have you forgotten them? Do others see who they really are? Now, these thoughts make inner mess because their value depends on what people think. Without your focus, their inner balance falls over. This injury often makes very big reactions. Some narcissists attack in a mean way, trying to show they are better through insults, threats, or lies. Others pull away into cold hate, telling themselves you are not worth it or were below them. This is not about not caring. It is a mental way to protect themselves. They have to make you seem small in their head to survive the hit to their pride. What makes a pride injury so risky for them is that it cannot be fixed from the inside. Healthy people deal with being told no by thinking, changing, and growing. Narcissists cannot do this because saying they were wrong would break their fake self. So instead of getting better, they blame you. You become mean. You become heartless. You become the entire problem. This lets them say their face while avoiding being at fault. Long no contact keeps that cut open. Every day of quiet proves the fact they cannot run from. You picked calm over them, and that choice proves they are not as strong, needed, or special as they thought. That fact is the deepest cut of all. After a long time of no contact, narcissists often move into a part of watching from far away before they do anything direct. This part is quiet, small, and easy to get wrong. On the top, it may look like they have moved on. In truth, they are looking not out of love or memory, but out of watching. Watching lets them get facts, without the risk of being told no or hurting their pride more. It gives them a sense of power without being out in the open. During this time, they may look at your social pages all the time, ask shared friends sneaky questions, or follow changes in your life through other people. They are looking for feeling data. Are you having a hard time or doing well? Do you look happy or quiet? Are you talking about them or acting like they don't exist? Every bit of info is seen as proof of, if they still matter. This watching part helps them handle their worry while they pick their next move. What is key to know is that they are not looking for a way to say goodbye. They are looking for a way to win. If they feel you are weak, sad, or still attached, it tells them that they still have a hold on you. If they see growth, calm, or that you don't care, it scares them. Not caring is very scary because it means a permanent loss of power. When they see no feeling from you, it forces them to look at the chance that they are no longer important. This is why they often wait to reach out. Doing it too fast risks showing that they have been replaced or left behind. Waiting lets them build a story in their head. They may tell themselves you are just acting fine or that you will quit eventually. These ideas help them stay feeling better while they watch from a safe spot. Watching also does another thing. It saves how they look. By staying quiet, they can later say they were the one who left, that they did not care, or that they picked the distance for their own good. This story matters a lot to them, especially in social groups where having a good name means having power. If they finally do something, it is usually planned, not just a feeling. The move is based on what they think will get the biggest reaction with the least risk. Long no contact ruins this part by giving no facts. When there is nothing to watch, no emotional path to walk. Their watching becomes useless. And when watching fails, power falls further away, leaving them annoyed, unsure, and out in the open. As more time goes by and no contact stays strong, the tricks to pull you back do not stop, they change. Early tries are often fast and clear, moved by fear or being mad. But after a long time of no contact, narcissists get more sneaky. They learn that direct ways might fail, so they change ways to get past your walls without making you say no right away. This is where their actions can feel messy, small, and even okay on the top. Smart tricks are made to look like there is no risk. Instead of saying they love you, you may see plain texts, work questions, or bumping into them by chance. They might bring up old times like it's nothing, send something that seems like it has no point, or show care without saying they are sorry. The goal is not to be friends again. The goal is a talk. Any answer, even a mean one, proves they still have a way in. Once they are in, power can slowly be built back up. Another common change is using others. They may use third people to give you facts or make you curious. Shared friends might talk about them suddenly. Or you may hear that they are having a hard time, changing or doing very well. These stories are put there on purpose. They are meant to make you feel bad, guilty, jealous, or unsure. Feelings that open mental doors without talking directly. The timing also becomes a plan. They may wait for times when you are more likely to be weak. Yearly dates, holidays, birthdays, or times of clear stress or winning. Winning is just as much of a trigger as losing because it hurts their pride. Reaching out during these times lets them test if they still have emotional weight in your world. What makes long-term tricks dangerous is that it often looks like they have grown up. They may look calm, nice, even like they understand things. But this is not being better. It is just changing. Narcissists learn patterns the way players do. If being loud no longer works, they try being calm. If being sweet failed before, they try being plain. The main reason stays the same. Get back to being important and having a say. If these new tricks fail, the frustration grows. Every ignored try makes the same point no contact has been saying the whole time. The way in is closed forever. At that point, the tricks either turn into being mean or they just stop. Long no contact works not because it changes who they are, but because it takes away every prize. When a plan gets no win, even the most thought-out tries eventually lose their energy. When narcissists can no longer get power back after a long time of no contact, they do not think about the truth of what happened. They change the story. This is not just lying, it is a way for their mind to survive. Their head cannot take a story where they were the one left, the one without power, or the one to blame for the end. So the facts are changed until they are no longer a threat. Would you like me to focus on a specific part of this script to simplify it even further?